Have you ever been reunited unexpectedly with someone? My best friend thought she would never see her son again. It sounds dramatic, but it's true. She had him when she was very young, just barely 18. Her family was incredibly religious and conservative. They pressured her to give him up for adoption. They said it was the best thing for everyone involved. They believed she was too young and irresponsible to be a good mother. They also worried about the shame it would bring to the family. She fought them for a while, but she was young and depended on them. Eventually, she gave in. It broke her heart. She always regretted it. She spent years wondering where he was, if he was happy, if he ever thought about her. She tried to find him through the adoption agency when he turned 18. But the records were sealed. The adoptive parents had requested complete anonymity. She understood, but it still hurt. She resigned herself to never knowing. Fast forward 20 years. She's married now, has a wonderful husband and 2 other children. She works as a librarian at the local community center. She loves her job. She gets to be around books all day and help people find information. She's finally built a good life for herself, but the pain of losing her first child never truly went away. The community center was hosting a volunteer fair. Lots of local organizations set up booths to recruit new members. My best friend was helping to coordinate the event. I went to support her. There was a buzz of activity. People milled around, talking to representatives from different groups. I was chatting with my friend when a young man approached her table. He was tall and had kind eyes. He smiled at her and asked about volunteering at the library. My friend explained the different roles available. He listened intently. He seemed genuinely interested. He mentioned he had recently moved to the area and was looking for ways to get involved in the community. As they talked, I noticed something. He had a birthmark on his left wrist. It was a small, crescent-shaped mark. My friend had told me years ago that her son had the exact same birthmark. It was one of the things she remembered most clearly about him. I felt a jolt of disbelief. I tried to dismiss it as a coincidence, but the more I looked at him, the more I felt like it couldn't be. After he left the booth, I nudged my friend. I asked her if she had noticed anything about the young man. She said she thought he was nice and seemed like a good person. I hesitated, then blurted it out. I told her about the birthmark. I watched her face change. She went pale. I thought she might faint. She grabbed my arm and whispered, "It can't be." She composed herself. She found his contact information. It was on the volunteer sign-up sheet. She did a search online. She found a social media profile. There was a picture of him as a baby. The picture clearly showed the birthmark on his wrist. She called him. She told him she believed she might be his biological mother. She explained the circumstances of his adoption. She shared details only she would know. He was shocked. He was hesitant at first, but he agreed to meet with her. They met the next day at a coffee shop. I went with her for support. They talked for hours. He asked her questions about her life. She told him everything. He shared his own story. He had a good life. He had loving adoptive parents, but he had always wondered about his biological family. They took a DNA test to confirm. It was positive. He was her son. It has been a few years now. They have built a beautiful relationship. He calls her regularly. He visits often. He is part of her family. He even calls her mom. It wasn't easy. There were a lot of emotions to process, but they are both so grateful to have found each other again. He told her that his adoptive parents were supportive, and he had always known that he was adopted. Sometimes, life has a way of bringing people together when they least expect it. It's a reminder that even after years of separation, love can still find a way.